Hello, Colorado High School, Middle School, and 6th grade band. Mr. Hale coming to you live from a very sad, empty band hall. Man, we sure miss you guys. I sit here and I think about each one of you as I look at your empty chairs and I go, oh man, that's where Ashlyn sits. Oh man, that's where Esmeralda sits. Oh man, that's where Hannah sits. Oh, there's Tori and there's Peyton. Here's all of Lathan. Lathan, why is your stand all weird? Caleb, why is your stand like that? Silly old Caleb, here, let me get you guys fixed up. Jason, why are you so far over there by the trombones? Oh, goodness, I miss you guys. I miss you something terrible. Can't wait to get you back in the classroom. I hope that this fancy coronavirus is over soon and we can move on with our lives. But until then, I thought I'd come up with an interesting assignment for you. And I say that I came up with it. I didn't come up with it. A band director friend of mine over in Eastland came up with it. And I was like, well, that's a good idea. I'm going to steal it. And the idea is this. For this week's, and this is an optional assignment. We still want you playing your instrument. But for this week's assignment, we want you to come up with some sort of homemade instrument. And if you could, we want you to take a picture of yourself with it or a video and send it in to me. You can email it to me or you can send it by Facebook. No, not Facebook. By Google Classroom. We're happy to check that out for you. But I wanted to give you some examples. Now, before you start just going all crazy with your instruments and let me adjust this to camera a little bit, it's kind of hard to see. Before you start going all crazy, check with your parents first. Things don't always come out like you hope they will. Let me give you a for instance. Just don't tell my wife, but like this bowl. It's like, well, we're going to use this bowl to make a little drum set out of. And it broke, it cracked, like right there on the bottom, the very first time that I used it. And I'm like, great, that's just what we always wanted, was a cracked bowl. And no, we didn't. So I guess I'm buying my wife a new bowl if I can ever buy bowls again. I don't know. So just don't tell her what I did. No, you can tell her. She'll watch this video. Pardon me as I get my camera right. I do all these live, and I do them in real time so that you can tell what's going on. Your assignment, though, this week, your optional and kind of fun assignment, is to make some sort of instrument, some sort of homemade instrument. Take a picture of it or take a little video of it with you in the picture. I want to see you and the instrument together. And I'd like to put some of those out on Facebook. Maybe even submit one to the paper. Our poor paper has nothing because it's hard for them to get out and do much. It's hard for school news to get out and happen. So here's some examples of ones that I made today. This one's just a water bottle shaker. It's got some BBs in it. You can use rocks, you can use whatever, but just an empty, it could be a Coke bottle, it could be a water bottle, whatever you got lying around. And of course the BB container in itself makes a really good shaker. This one is a fun one. This is just 2 paper plates that I stapled together and I put some loose change in it. It could be rocks, it could be, I don't know, you could come up to the school and get some pine cones and rip them apart and put in there. Whatever you could come up with to put in there, but makes a pretty good, it's a pretty good little rattle. This one has been around our band hall for a while. We haven't really used it. You can see it's got a bunch of little BBs in there. And it's just 2 bass drum heads, a marching bass drum. This is a really old head. And it makes a really interesting sound as the BBs kind of roll around inside. It's an interesting thing. You know, and I know you probably don't have bass drum heads lying around. My favorite one that I've done so far is this one. This is a silly little contraption. You can see I've got a little cornet mouthpiece, and this is the bottom of coat hangers. Those little, oh, they're kind of cardboard on the bottom of our coat hangers that, you know, we get our band uniforms back from the cleaners. I just took a couple of those, I taped them together. I literally made a funnel, because I didn't have a funnel here at the band hall, a bell, if you will, out of a piece of paper that I just taped together and taped it all together. And you can actually play this silly little thing. Let's see if I can get down here where I can get in the camera. I don't have any, you know, finger holes or anything. That'd be pretty cool if I did, but I don't. You're really limited on the number of notes you can do, because it's like playing an instrument or a brass instrument with all open. But you can do this with, you know, a trombone mouthpiece, a tuba mouthpiece, a French horn mouthpiece. I've seen it done with sections of hose or tubing. I didn't have any on me. Don't, you know, don't go cut up your parents' best water hose. I didn't do that either at the house, but I think a cornet's like 9 feet long, something like that. If you want something similar, or maybe 6 feet. I can't remember. You can look that up. I need to look that up too. But you can kind of look up the length of your instrument. You can actually make one the same length of your instrument. I haven't tried this with like a clarinet or a saxophone mouthpiece or a bass clarinet mouthpiece. I suspect it's a little long for those. Maybe a bass clarinet would be pretty low for them. But I could feature some of that with some finger holes put in it. You know, I could feature, if I had a little bigger pipe, maybe like a 3/4 inch piece of PVC, maybe drilling some holes in it and using it as a flute. These are all just kind of silly ideas that I had. And of course, you got the standard idea of just a drum set. Now I've got some drumsticks here, but it could be pencils, it could be whatever you have at the house, you know. And you make all sorts of silly little stuff. Now, if you do this, and you use your parents' bowls, sorry, I used my wife's Mickey Mouse bowl. Thankfully, it's a little thicker than this one. Make sure that you ask them first on any of this stuff. Don't just like start tearing up the house and, Mr. Hale told me to make this and tear up that. No, ask them first. And then when you get these bowls back to them, wash them, dry them, put them back up. You know, make sure that we take good care of stuff, which is good anyway. But it makes a good, how do I say a good? It makes an interesting drum set. I don't know if I can get a paradiddle going there or not. It's silly, and I'm not very good at that. A lot of you guys have way more talent at doing some drum set stuff than I do. See what you can come up with. You guys will probably think of way more than I will. I think one of the kids in Eastland taped a bunch of straws together, made himself a little pan flute, you know, clipped them different lengths, blew across the tops of them. The band director in Eastland did get a PVC pipe and found plans online and was drilling holes in it and made himself a flute. I have not been quite that creative yet. But that's your assignment this week. You know, certainly keep playing, and I'll have another regular assignment to come out to you this week. But keep playing your instrument daily. Keep washing your hands. But see what you can come up with. See if you can come up with a homemade assignment. Submit that thing to me via Google Classroom, a little video or a picture. And I'd love to have you and a picture in it for our Make Your Own Instrument while we're stuck at the house. I love you guys. Hope you guys are safe. And as always, go Wolves!